In the history of video games, few characters have achieved the rare balance of vulnerability, strength, and emotional realism quite like Leon S.Kennedy. Introduced at a time when survival horror was redefining interactive storytelling, Leon quickly became more than just a playable character. He became a symbol of human resilience in the face of collapse. Across decades of storytelling within the Resident Evil universe, Leon's journey mirrors the evolution of the series itself. From claustrophobic horror to globe-spanning bioterror threats, Leon adapts, survives, and endures, never losing the humanity that defines him. Today in this video, we will try to find out where was Leon before the incidents of Resident Evil 8 and 7. After debuting in Resident Evil 6, we haven't really seen Leon much in games. So let's start the video with some story recaps. On his very first day as a police officer, Leon arrives late to Raccoon City, a delay that unknowingly saves his life. What he finds is a city already lost. Streets are silent, buildings abandoned, and the dead walk openly among the living. Leon is not trained for this. He is not a special forces operative nor a veteran soldier. He's a rookie, armed with basic training, moral conviction, and a deep sense of responsibility. Every decision he makes is reactive, every step forward fueled by fear and instinct rather than experience. What defines Leon in these moments is not his combat ability, but his refusal to give up. Despite overwhelming odds, he chooses to help survivors, uncover the truth behind the outbreak, and keep moving forward when escape seems impossible. Surviving Raccoon City is not a victory, it is a burden. Leon witnesses the complete failure of institutions meant to protect humanity. He sees friends, officers, and civilians die violently. He uncovers experiments where science has abandoned ethics. These experiences fundamentally alter him. Where many would break or turn bitter, Leon internalizes his trauma. He carries it forward, allowing it to sharpen his sense of justice rather than erase it. His survival draws the attention of the US government, who recognize both his resilience and his potential. Leon is recruited, trained, and reshaped, not into a weapon, but into a covert operative tasked with handling threats too dangerous to be publicly acknowledged. As a government agent, Leon is sent into environments where failure means catastrophe. Bioorganic weapons, extremist cults, corrupt corporations, and global conspiracies define his new reality. Leon travels across countries and continents, facing enemies who see human life as expendable. He becomes highly skilled in combat, tactics, and adaptability, but what truly sets him apart is restraint. Despite everything he has seen, Leon does not become cold or cruel. He protects civilians, questions authority, and acts according to his own moral compass, even when orders conflict with conscience. After the incidents of Raccoon City, Leon was tasked to save the president's daughter, Ashley Graham. He travels to a remote Spanish village to rescue the president's kidnapped daughter, Ashley Graham, from a sinister cult, Los Illuminados, who control the villagers with a mind-controlling parasite called Las Plagas. No backup, no second chances. But the moment Leon steps into the village, something feels wrong. The streets are quiet, the air is heavy, and the people are watching. The villagers don't scream, they don't run, they attack. Not as mindless zombies, but as coordinated hunters. Leon soon discovers the truth. The villagers are infected by Las Plagas, an ancient parasite that controls the mind while preserving intelligence. These people aren't monsters by choice, they're victims. And worse still, Leon is infected too. As night falls and the village burns, Leon realizes this is no rescue mission. It's a descent into something far older and far more dangerous. Leon rescues Ashley, but safety is an illusion. They are taken to a massive castle ruled by Ramon Salazar, a twisted noble who serves a higher master. Behind everything stands the cult Los Illuminados, led by the fanatical Osmond Sadler. Faith has been weaponized, free will has been erased. Here, Leon crosses paths with Ada Wong, a ghost from his past with her own secret mission. She warns him, everyone wants Las Plagas. No one wants to destroy it. The final truth waits on a fortified island, Los Illuminados Research Hub. This is where horror becomes bioterror. Factories mass-produce parasites. Soldiers are engineered. The plan is revealed. Sadler doesn't want chaos. He wants control. Ashley is meant to return home, infected, so the parasite can spread silently through the highest levels of power. Leon is running out of time. Las Plagas is tightening its grip inside him. With Ada's help, Leon and Ashley are cured, but escape comes at a cost. Leon confronts Sadler in a brutal final battle. Control versus choice. Obedience versus humanity. Sadler falls, the cult collapses, the island is destroyed. Ada escapes with a sample of Las Plagas. The nightmare isn't over, it's only evolving. Leon completes the mission. Ashley is safe, but there is no victory celebration, only silence. Leon walks away carrying new scars, physical and emotional, knowing the world will never stop creating monsters, and someone will always have to stand in their way. By the end of Resident Evil 4, Leon is no longer reacting to horror. He is confronting it head-on. He completes his mission, saves Ashley Graham, and stops a global bioterror threat. After RE4, Leon fully accepts his role as a government operative, not out of loyalty, but necessity. He understands that if people like him don't act, power will always fall into the wrong hands. Post-RE4, Leon becomes noticeably quieter and more emotionally restrained. The humor is still there, but it's sharper, drier, and more defensive. He stops forming deep attachments, keeping emotional distance from both allies and institutions. This isn't coldness, it's armor. Leon has learned that everyone he protects becomes a target. Caring deeply means vulnerability, and vulnerability gets people killed. By the time of Resident Evil 6, Leon rarely expresses hope or optimism. He speaks in facts, not beliefs. Leon's story in RE6 is the most tragic and morally heavy of the 4 campaigns. It is not about action or spectacle. It is about truth, guilt, and the cost of surviving too long. Leon's campaign opens quietly. He is now a seasoned government agent assigned to protect the President of the United States, Adam Benford, a man who personally knows Leon and trusts him. The President plans to expose the truth about Raccoon City, the lies, the cover-ups, and the government's role in allowing it to happen. Before he can speak, disaster strikes. The C virus is released, and the President is infected. Leon is forced to do the unthinkable. He kills the President. This moment defines Leon's entire arc in Resident Evil 6, not because he lacked courage, but because he acted for the greater good, even when it destroyed him emotionally. Tall Oaks descends into chaos as intelligent zombies flood the city. These are not mindless monsters. They remember how to use doors, weapons, and teamwork. Leon isn't shocked anymore. That's the tragedy. By now, Leon has seen Raccoon City destroyed, global bioterror incidents, governments lie and repeat the same mistakes. He is no longer fighting with hope, he is fighting out of responsibility. Leon survives Tall Oaks alongside Helena Harper, a fellow agent hiding dangerous secrets. She insists she knows who caused the outbreak, but only if Leon follows her. Despite his instincts, Leon agrees, because deep down, he wants answers. Helena leads Leon to a cathedral, her childhood home, in place of trauma. Here, the tone becomes deeply personal. Helena reveals she was blackmailed into cooperating with the enemy to save her kidnapped sister. Her actions indirectly helped cause the Tall Oaks outbreak. Leon has every reason to arrest her. He doesn't. This is a crucial moment in Leon's arc. Unlike earlier versions of Leon, who believed in systems and authority, this Leon understands human weakness. He knows how fear can break people. He gives Helena a chance at redemption, not because she deserves it, but because Leon once needed that same mercy. The truth points to Derek Simmons, National Security Advisor and one of the most powerful men in the world. Simmons helped cover up Raccoon City. He orchestrated Tall Oaks, all to protect a global power structure built on lies. Simmons believes the truth would destroy the world. Control is better than honesty. Sacrifice is acceptable if it preserves order. Leon represents the opposite. Leon believes the world deserves the truth, even if it hurts. This ideological clash defines their conflict more than any physical battle. Simmons mutates into grotesque forms using the C-virus, transforming again and again, each mutation reflecting his obsession with control and immortality. Leon hunts him across cities, trains, and battlefields. What's important here is Leon's restraint. He does not rage, he does not gloat, he is tired. Each fight feels less like justice and more like cleaning up another preventable disaster. Leon isn't chasing revenge, he's closing a wound the world refuses to heal. Leon finally defeats Simmons, but victory feels empty. The truth of Tall Oaks is exposed, but at enormous cost. Countless lives are lost, another city is destroyed, another cover-up is replaced with another disaster. Helena turns herself in. Leon lets her face justice, not punishment, but accountability. This choice matters. Leon no longer believes in scapegoats, he believes in owning the truth. By the end of Resident Evil 6, Leon S.Kennedy is not broken, but he is changed. He is disillusioned with governments, still loyal to innocent lives, and willing to carry unbearable burdens alone. Leon understands something most heroes don't. Saving the world doesn't mean fixing it, it means preventing it from collapsing again. He keeps fighting, not because he believes things will improve, but because if he stops, no one else will.
After Resident Evil 6, the incidents of Resident Evil Vendetta happen, where the story turns in Leon's arc. From here, we actually get to know where was Leon between Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8. Resident Evil Vendetta takes place in 2014, between Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 7. The world has survived multiple bioterror incidents, but global trust is fragile. Governments are exhausted, survivors are traumatized, and bioweapons are no longer just tools of corporations, they are instruments of personal revenge. By the time Vendetta begins, Leon S.Kennedy is no longer defined by survival or bravery. He is defined by aftermath. Leon opens the film emotionally broken. A failed rescue mission has ended with hostages dead, people he was supposed to save. This failure cuts deeper than past trauma because Leon is no longer inexperienced. He's no longer learning. He believes he should have known better. The story begins with Glenn Arias, a wealthy arms broker whose wedding is interrupted by a U.S. drone strike. His bride dies in his arms, and his life collapses in a single moment. This tragedy becomes the emotional core of Vendetta. Unlike earlier villains driven by profit or ideology, Arias is driven by grief and rage. He develops a new strain of virus called A virus, designed not just to kill, but to control infected hosts with sound frequency triggers. His goal is not domination, it is punishment. He believes the world deserves to feel the same loss he felt. We reunite with Leon S.Kennedy, now a seasoned government agent, but this is not the confident hero of Resident Evil 4. Haunted by decades of bloodshed, Leon has become distant, exhausted, and numb. He no longer believes the war against bioterror can be won, only delayed. A failed mission has left an entire hostage group dead, and Leon is drowning in guilt. He drinks heavily, isolates himself, and questions whether his actions actually save lives or simply delay the inevitable. Chris Redfield, now working with the BSAA, is pursuing Arias directly. His approach is aggressive and military-focused. On the other side is Rebecca Chambers, who has abandoned combat to focus on curing viral outbreaks. She believes science, not bullets, is the only way to truly end the cycle. Rebecca becomes the moral heart of the film. When Arias targets her for her antiviral research, the three paths, Leon, Chris, and Rebecca, finally converge. Arias plans to release his virus at a public event in New York, ensuring maximum spread and panic. The virus creates highly aggressive, coordinated infected, faster and more lethal than anything seen before. This is not chaos, it is calculated punishment. Leon, Chris, and Rebecca confront Arias in New York. The final battle is brutal and personal. Arias transforms into a monstrous form, symbolizing how revenge has consumed him completely. Despite understanding Arias's pain, Leon refuses to justify his actions. Pain does not excuse genocide. Arias is killed. The outbreak is contained. But the victory feels hollow. In the aftermath, Leon regains something he nearly lost: purpose. He accepts that while the war against bioterror may never end, walking away would only guarantee its victory. Chris learns restraint. Rebecca continues her research, proof that healing still matters. The world survives once again, not because evil ended, but because someone chose not to give up.
After the Resident Evil vendetta, the incidents of Resident Evil Death Island happens, where we actually know where was Leon before the events of Resident Evil Requiem. Guys, from here we will know why Leon decided to fight against bioterrorism and why he decides to help Grace Ashcroft in Resident Evil 9. The story begins with Dylan Blake, a soldier in Umbrella Corporation in Raccoon City. During the virus outbreak, Dylan and his team were ordered to protect only Umbrella higher executives. Dylan's team completes their task, but Dylan's team gets injured during rescuing the executives and gets left in the Raccoon City. From here, Dylan's friend gets orders from higher up that if anybody is bitten or injured, shoot them instantly so that more backups could arrive. But Dylan do not agree. He sees that they were their friends. How could we kill them? Then we see that their friends have already turned into zombies, trying to attack them, but his friend, JJ, shoots them.
After that, we see Jill Valentine in a house inspecting the reports of incident caused by an upgraded version of T-Virus. Jill recklessly charging despite the order from Chris Redfield to wait for troops to arrive. She encounters some infected peoples and kills them. By the time Chris arrives, situation controls. Chris is worried for Jill because of her recklessly trying to save lives of innocent, but we know how dangerous it could be. After mind-controlled by Albert Wesker, she's in constant guilt of how she wanted to kill Chris and all of them. We see Rebecca Chambers running multiple tests on the bodies of the victims and confirms that it is an upgraded version of T-Virus, the virus which is responsible for Raccoon City incident. After that, we see Claire Redfield, sister of Chris Redfield, inspecting the dead orcas. She gets confused to see the bite marks that the orcas have. She reveals that this is not the bite marks of sharks or any other water animal. It is rather some other thing which is out on hunt. She visits Rebecca for help. After that, Rebecca found that the bite marks which the orcas have some strains of T-Virus. Rebecca told us that she and Claire were tracking some dolphins and whale near Alcatraz, but they suddenly disappeared, and after they received the body of orcas near Alcatraz, the suspicion grew. Rebecca also tells the team that she found a common link between the dead bodies that Chris receives. She tells that all the victims visited Alcatraz for touring. Now, Chris and his team knows that something is not right in Alcatraz Island. After that, Chris, Claire, and Jill visits Alcatraz for some info. From here, we see Leon ready to chase someone, and that someone is Dr. Antonio Taylor. Hunnigan tells Leon that Dr. Antonio Taylor was researching for U.S. military, but Antonio turned against U.S. government, and he was trying to sell the info to other country. But before he can do that, some unknown group kidnapped Antonio, and Leon is now chasing that group. During the chase, Leon encounters a woman trying to stop Leon. We cannot see that unknown woman because of the helmet, but after Leon fell and stopped, we can clearly see that she is none other than Maria Gomez from Resident Evil Vendetta. After Glenn Arias' fall, Maria survived the incident, and now she's back for revenge. After that, we see Chris and his group in Alcatraz inspecting the island. Suddenly, one of the people turned into zombie and he started killing the tourists. Chris runs to save the tourists and shoots the infected. But Chris and his teams get confused that the tourist Chris killed doesn't have bite marks, nor he gets bitten by any other infected. After that, we see many of the tourists turned into zombies suddenly. This was confusing because the infected Chris killed did not bite other tourists, so how some tourists get turned into infected zombies? Chris and his team, Claire and Jill, fights the infected and try to save the people, but the group cannot find how these people are turning. Chris and Claire get separated from Jill Valentine, who gets thrown down in the tunnels of Alcatraz. After that, situation normalizes and Chris and Claire find a guy hiding in a box. After that, we see Jill Valentine trying to find a way to upper area, but unexpectedly she meets Leon. Leon asks her why she is here in Alcatraz. Before she could tell, a group of bioweapons known as lickers attack them. They barely find a way to survive. After that, Jill tells Leon that she is not alone in the island. Chris and Claire are also here. She tells Leon that a new and upgraded version of T-virus is on the action, and they found the links to the virus. The clues lead them to Alcatraz, and now they were stuck here. Jill also asked Leon why he is here. He tells Jill that he is on the hunt for Dr. Antonio Taylor, a scientist specialist in robotics engineering. He tried to sell his research to another country and got kidnapped by a group of terrorists. He says he got the intel that the terrorists took Dr. Antonio to Alcatraz, so he is here. After that, we see Chris and Claire. The man that they rescued tells that his name is Tony Davis. Before they could breathe, another group of infected people attacks Chris and Claire, and in that attack, Tony gets injured. We see an unknown fly object watching Chris and Claire and bite them, infecting both of them. Tony tries to run, but Maria finds him and locks Chris, Claire, and Tony in prison. Our other team finds the hidden parts of island where they find the tanks and bioweapons getting ready. After that, a voice comes and tells Leon and Jill to hurry up and see Claire and Chris because they are infected. From there, Leon and Jill find Chris and Claire infected. Leon also finds Dr. Antonio Taylor and reveals to Chris and Jill that the man with them is not Tony Davis. He is Dr. Antonio Taylor, who tried to sell his research to other country. After that, the lights turn on and we can see the villain of the story, Dylan Blake, accompanied by Maria Gomez. Dylan tells Leon that these things known as biodrones were made by him. From the help of these biodrones, Dylan can actually choose who to infect and who to not. Dylan shows the prototype by infecting Leon, and Leon suddenly feels weak. Dylan tells Leon and his group that they think BSAA, DSO, and TerraSave actually save the world from the evil organizations like Umbrella, but they are wrong. They only protect their interest, and they don't give a shit about innocent people. Leon, Chris, Jill, or Claire, they are no different than them. They will only protect the ones which they were told to protect, and innocent people will keep dying by the hand of the higher executive. Dylan tells that only people with money and power were protected, and the common people suffers like insects. He tells his plan is not to turn the world into zombies or cause an outbreak. His plan is to use the virus on the higher-ups so that they can suffer like a common human suffers. After that, we know why he is so broken down to take these steps. We get some flashbacks. After killing their whole team in Raccoon City, his friend JJ was bitten. Before he could turn into one of those infected, Dylan kills him with the box, crushing his head. This incident completely changed him. That's why he wants a revenge on those higher-ups. After that, he leaves to the chamber where he will execute his plan. By the help of Leon's flash grenade, Jill escapes. On the other side, Rebecca Chamber is on the way to Alcatraz. She also carries the vaccine for the upgraded T-virus in the case of emergency. She arrives at Alcatraz. By arriving at Alcatraz, her team was killed by a bioweapon who is the cause of the water animal go disappear. On the way to Leon and the group, she finds Jill. Jill tells Rebecca that Leon, Chris, and Claire are infected. She should hurry to the prison chamber by following the waterway to reach the team, and Jill will go to destroy the biodrones that are about to hatch from incubator. On the other hand, Dr. Antonio Taylor is shot by Dylan and is about to die. Before dying, he gives a password written in a note to Claire. He tells as they enter the password to the monitoring chamber, they can overwrite the programs that the biodrones have. Then they can control biodrones how they want, and by saying that, he dies. Rebecca arrives and cures Leon and the team by the vaccines. We see Jill Valentine confronting Dylan. Dylan says that it's too late and she can do nothing. Then he proceeds to inject the virus that he have in his hands and fall in the water where the bioweapon swallows him. By the time Leon and team arrive, the bioweapon is completely changed into a new form, much bigger and stronger. Jill tells the team that Dylan has mixed the T-virus into that bioweapon, resulting the massive mutation that we are seeing.
Here we see all the OG characters in action. Leon, Chris, Rebecca, Claire, and Jill are getting ready to fight the mutated bioweapon. We can see that despite all the efforts, all the guns and ammunition, the bioweapon doesn't have a scratch. Claire and Rebecca leaves mid-fight to overwrite the program to stop the biodrones from reaching the mainland, while Leon, Chris, and Jill try to fight that bioweapon. Jill finds a plasma rifle which can create heat up to 20,000 degrees Celsius. Jill asks Leon and Chris to keep the monster busy so that she can charge the plasma rifle. Jill successfully charges the rifle and shoots to the mutated bioweapon. The rifle does damage, but not enough to kill the monster. Meanwhile, Rebecca and Claire reach the operation room and overwrite the system, and now they're in control of the biodrones. After that, Rebecca planned to release the biodrones to the mutated bioweapon, resulting the monster couldn't move. Rebecca tells us that the biodrones are pumping their virus in the bioweapon and overloading the virus, and the result is messing with the bioweapon's chemistry. The monster tries to head for open water to escape, but Leon and their group stops him and kills the monster with the rocket launcher. The group survives, and all other tourists are dead, resulting the burden get heavy that all of our characters are already carrying, the burden not able to save innocent people's lives. Leon's most important moment in Death Island is not a battle, it is a choice. He accepts guilt without accepting condemnation. He accepts responsibility without embracing hatred. Leon realizes that survival is not something he has to apologize for, but it is something he must carry correctly. In Death Island, Leon S.Kennedy is no longer a symbol of hope. He is a symbol of endurance. A man who keeps standing not because he believes the world is good, but because someone must stop it from becoming worse. He carries guilt. He carries memory. He carries the dead forward. And despite everything, he still chooses to protect life.